Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Disaster Management Series that we are running specifically on Lok Sabha TV. I'm your host Lottie Alaric. And today I'm with a set of experts who will be talking about mock drills and mock exercises. So to tell us more on the issue, I have in the studio Mr. J.K. Sinha, who is the member of the National Disaster Management Authority, New Delhi. I welcome you to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sitting next to him is Major General V.K. Datta, who's a senior specialist mock exercise and capacity building at the NDMA, Delhi again. I welcome you to the show. And I'm also joined by Dr. P.M. Nair, who's the Director General with the NDRF and Civil Defence Government of India.
Thank you.
So thanks very much for joining me. Now to begin with, my first question is very simple, Mr. Sinha, that when we say mock exercise and mock drill, for the common man, he wouldn't really understand the difference. But is there a difference between the two?
Yes, there is a difference and there is a lot of significance to both of them. जैसा कि नाम से ही पता चलता है, मॉक यानी असली नहीं।
करेक्ट।
नकली मानिए या इसको प्रैक्टिस मानिए, तो ये एक ऐसी एक्सरसाइज हुई जबकि आपदा नहीं हो, उस समय इसको किया जाता है।
जी।
The purpose of this exercise is to assess your own capabilities or the capabilities of the district or the officials involved in it. Disaster management is a very, very wide subject and it involves a lot of departments. Apart from the administrative departments, you will have the engineering departments, the health department and all sorts of people, because no single department is in a position to respond independently.
True.
And therefore coordination during a response is very, very vital. और ये मॉक एक्सरसाइज इसलिए की जाती है कि उस कोऑर्डिनेशन को चेक करें कि सबके बीच में तालमेल कैसी है, और इसमें हम लोग ये देख पाते हैं कि हमें किस किस चीज़ की कमी है, किस चीज़ में हम सक्षम हैं। वो इंक्लूड करता है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से स्किल्स, रिसोर्सेज में इक्विपमेंट्स भी आएंगी, मैन पावर भी आएगा। तो ये सारी चीज़ें के संबंध में हमारी स्थिति क्या है, ये उभर के निकलता है एक मॉक एक्सरसाइज में। एक्सरसाइज और ड्रिल के बीच में क्या डिफरेंस है, आपने पूछा। तो एक्सरसाइज एक लार्जर सब्जेक्ट हुआ जिसमें सभी डिपार्टमेंट, सभी पहलुओं का जांच या टेस्ट होता है, और ड्रिल एक छोटे से पहलू का होगा। जैसे कम्युनिकेशन ड्रिल कर लिए या फायर ड्रिल कर लिए, तो ये एक छोटी सी बात हुई, छोटी सी इशू पर आपने अपनी सक्षमता को चेक किया।
Correct.
लेकिन वही आप सारे सक्षमताओं को अगर जांचना चाहेंगे, सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को इन्वॉल्व करना चाहेंगे, तो वो एक मॉक एक्सरसाइज हुआ। और जैसा कि हमने बताया कि ये असली नहीं है, इसका सिग्निफिकेंस ये है कि जबकि आपदा नहीं हो, उस समय हम इसको टेस्ट करें। हमारी रिस्पांस टीम्स सभी जगह तैयार हैं कि नहीं, वो सभी लोग ट्रेंड हैं कि नहीं, उनके पास सारी इक्विपमेंट्स जो रिक्वायर्ड है वो है कि नहीं, और इसको करने के समय हमारा डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान जो है डिस्ट्रिक्ट का, वो किस लेवल का तैयार किया हुआ है, ये भी उभर के सामने आता है।
That's right.
कि क्या हमारी हर पहलुओं पर ध्यान है, नहीं है। अब अभी अभी हम लोगों ने एक एक्सरसाइज कराया जिसमें सारी चीज़ों का इंतज़ाम था, लेकिन एक पहलू भूल गए कि वो अमोनिया गैस की पाइपलाइन और पेट्रोल की गैस पाइपलाइन दोनों अगल बगल से गुजर रही थी एक जगह पे। तो हमारे स्पेशलिस्ट ने वहाँ बोला कि अगर इसमें किसी टेररिस्ट ने कुछ ये कर दिया और जिसके चलते आग लग गई, तो आप फायर फाइटिंग करने भी नहीं जा सकते हैं। आप कैसे करेंगे, उसकी तैयारी आपकी क्या है, ये बताएं।
So I think this is where Major General V.K. Datta will come in now, since he is talking of the plan that really needs to be put in place. So is there a specific process which the NDMA follows for the same? If yes, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, NDMA conducts mock exercises all over the country, and basically before we start conducting mock exercises, we make a annual calendar,
Okay.
based on which we conduct the exercises based on the demand given by the states related to the type of disasters they face and where they want the NDMA assistance.
Right.
So once the demand comes in, we make our annual calendar, which is approved by the vice chairman, and thereafter we carry out conduct of the entire mock exercise process. To conduct one mock exercise in a district which has not been covered earlier, it takes almost about 9 days.
Okay.
And it is done in about 4 parts. In part 1, we carry out a coordination conference, during which we have an interaction with all the district authorities. We check out the type of hazards and vulnerabilities. We work out a scenario as to which hazard are you going to actually practice, and based on that we work out the scenarios and the injects.
Okay.
After that, once a detailed planning has been done, then we conduct a tabletop exercise in which based on that scenario which we have worked out, we unfold an event. And based on the unfolding of the event, the various stakeholders have to respond, as what has been already explained by member Mr. Sinha. What is the role of the DC of the district? What is the role of the police? What is the role of the fire department? How does the medical services and the entire resources of the medical in a district will fit into that type of scenario? Do they have the capability of handling the type of casualties and injuries which may take place?
And the coordination which is most
Coordination
important.
which is required. They have to update their plans. They have to make their resource inventories. They have to work out their communication plans. And everybody who's in the district, who is a stakeholder, and in fact when we talk about stakeholders, starting with the district administration, the police, the fire department, the civil defense home guards, all the heads of the line directorates which are part of the district administration, which are like the RTO, the chief medical officer, the food and supplies, everybody. Because it is not one man activity.
Actually.
It is a combination of an entire team at the district level which has to come together as per a plan, respond as per the incident response system, and unfold a response in a planned manner and not an ad hoc activity.
Actually, that's
And
right.
therefore, when I mentioned about the 4 steps, step 1 I said coordination, step 2 a tabletop exercise which I just mentioned, it will be scenario painting and response by various stakeholders. Question to the DC, question to the fire department, question to this thing, they give their answers, we discuss it out and they understand where they stand. And then whichever district we take, whether there is a army unit located there, whether they are paramilitary or there is an air force station, what is implied is that everybody who's in that district is a stakeholder. The NGOs, the industries, and any other specialist. Let's say there's a nuclear plant. We'll need these specialists from the nuclear installations and the DAE and the ERB. All those people will form part of the stakeholders at the district level. And then after the tabletop, the 3rd step is a mock exercise, a physical activity on ground, which is the 3rd step. And after the mock exercise, which does not take very long, in fact a mock exercise at a district level takes about 3 hours, we carry out a hot wash and a debriefing, and we try to analyze what was right, what was wrong, what was our strength, what was our weakness.
Or the evaluation that is
Evaluation, that is immediate evaluation.
true. So how many have you done so far? How many have you conducted so far,
Oh,
mock exercises?
If you talk about the number of exercises conducted by NDMA so far since inception, 389 mock exercises have been conducted all over the country of different kinds.
Right.
In fact, we have covered all hazards, including nuclear emergencies, and whether it is fire, whether it is nuclear, chemical, flood, tsunami, cyclone, earthquake, everything.
The works. as you
Yes,
say.
and we have recently concluded a mega mock exercise involving Punjab, Himachal and Haryana and the UT of Chandigarh, which took place on 13th of Feb, which was a good learning for everybody. And finally, which will be covered later on, the evaluation part, which is very important.
Right. We'll come back to the evaluation a little more in detail, but before that, let me just speak to Dr. Nair here. Now, NDRF, I'm sure, has a lot to contribute to. So, what is the function of the NDRF really?
National Disaster Response Force was created by the Government of India to to address disaster issues in a very professional manner. It's a dedicated force. You'll be surprised to know that throughout the world, there is nowhere such dedicated force exists.
Okay.
Here is a force without weapons, but we have equipments and tools, and of course the dedication, commitment, professional capabilities. We have gone to Japan also, we have gone to Tunisia also, very places we have been experienced or on job. Now, what Mr. Sinha said, Honorable Member said, and what General Datta said about the mock exercises and mock drills which are conducted. In all these mock exercises, NDRF has been part of that. So, we are inevitable ingredient of all the exercises.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, since we are located across the country in 10 places, 10 battalions are there, we also undertake chota exercises, small exercises,
Right.
which appeals, which depending on the local situation, like Assam flood oriented, Kerala chemical disaster oriented, Pune nuclear oriented, Naroda again depending on the situations wherever it is. Joining the nuclear plants, you think of supposing a nuclear disaster happens, how should the public respond and react? So, we have such sort of experiments, mock exercises across the country. In 2012, we had conducted 111, 1 year itself, 111 mock exercises, and a total number of 34 stakeholders were involved in this. Stakeholder means everybody is a stakeholder. For me, I would say, I would tell the public also, in the national disaster response system, everybody is a stakeholder, all of you. I would say one step further, it's not even stakeholder, you are a duty holder.
Correct.
All of us have to ensure disaster doesn't take place. All of us have to ensure disaster response is proper. All of us help each other to mitigate the sufferings. And in that process, we can build a disaster resilience India. These 34 stakeholders include children, army, navy, air force, police, paramilitary, and not only the security forces, but even the civilians, the public, the girls in the school, the boys in the school, the NGOs, the Anganwadis, and the self-help groups. We have associated all of them. That's why my list is 34.
Everybody actually needs to rope in a process like this, only then can they actually succeed.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, we'll slip into a very short break right now, but do come back quickly, as that is the time when we'll be talking about the evaluation of these mock exercises and mock drills, and also how you too can be a part of it. So don't go away, as we are coming back in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Disaster Management Series, where today we are talking about mock exercises and mock drills that you always keep hearing about in the media and everywhere, and how we all can be a part of it. This is what we are going to learn in this segment. But before that, Mr. Sinha, I would like you to tell us as to how do you evaluate the results of these mock drills and mock exercises, and based on these, how do you plan your strategies ahead?
Right. I think it's a very important thing that you've asked. The evaluation of the mock exercise is very, very vital. It's important. And the whole exercise is meant to evaluate.
True.
Now, how has the exercise gone? We have adopted a very, very simple formula. People who are not involved in the disaster response, like for example, when we conduct mock exercises, generally we keep the army out of the duties in the exercise,
okay.
because they are already an organized force.
True.
But we request them to send observers. Now, in the coordination meeting, what we do is we have a separate meeting with the observers. इनको हम लोग अलग बिठाकर इनको समझाते हैं कि हम लोग इन पहलुओं को देखने जा रहे हैं,
जी।
ये सिनेरियो है और इनकी ये जिम्मेदारियां हैं। ये बताने के बाद हर लोकेशन पे एक एक ऑब्जर्वर दे दिया जाता है, जो कि कुछ नहीं करता है, सिर्फ इनके हरकतों को देखता है कि इन्होंने कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड किया, कितना टाइम लगाया, किस तरीके से अपने काम का निष्पादन किया, हाउ डिड दे परफॉर्म ओवरऑल. After they have done, they keep noting all these things. And then when the whole exercise is over and it is called off, then we have another meeting in which each observer gives out his own points as to what all did he notice, what were the strong points, what were the weak points. He looks not only in the resource management side of it, but also the command and control. You see, किसी भी डिजास्टर रिस्पांस में कमांड और कंट्रोल की बात बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट रखती है, क्योंकि कोई गया रेस्क्यू करने, अब वो कहाँ गया, क्या हाल में है, रेस्क्यू करके लौटा नहीं लौटा, इसकी जानकारी किसी को रखनी चाहिए. नहीं तो पता चला कि वो गया आया ही नहीं है, अब उसी को खोजने में रेस्क्यू पार्टी जाएगी. तो ये कमांड एंड कंट्रोल और कम्युनिकेशन, तो हर पहलू का पर एक ऑब्जर्वर लगा रहता है कि ये कैसा, इनका कम्युनिकेशन सेटअप कैसा था, इनका मेडिकल रिस्पांस कैसा था, इनका फर्स्ट एड कैसा था.
So, just to interrupt you for a moment, so if you find that wherever, sometimes I'm sure you must be encountering these kind of situations where you found that the response was not what you had expected or what you had trained, then in such a scenario, what is it that you do?
Now, that is what we are wanting to find out through this mock exercise. That is the purpose, the whole purpose of this mock exercise, to finally assess a district or an organization, how well are they organized. Are they strong enough, or is there a lot of gaps, shortcomings? Now, that becomes an occasion that that organization or that district should be able to meet those things. Then, after the whole exercise is over, we prepare a report, which is thoroughly examined, and then it is sent to the district or the organization concerned, so that these are the gaps, they know these are the gaps that were noticed by us, and they should meet it. So next time round when we go, we would like to check on that, whether it has been done or not. The whole process is just the improvement of the disaster management capabilities, and not to find faults.
Exactly.
That is not
otherwise the purpose
the whole purpose would be lost.
That's right.
The purpose is to identify the gaps, the shortcomings, the strengths, and the weaknesses, and then rectify those.
True.
So, that
so
is the
taking
purpose.
on from here, is there anything more that you all do, and the kind of response that you get, are you always satisfied? If not, then again, what is your strategy?
Yeah, when we visit the various districts, because basically the strength of the nation lies at the district level.
True.
If a district is strong, the nation is strong. If the district plans are ready, fully prepared, resources are known, and the stakeholders know their role and task, India doesn't have to worry about anything. So therefore, at the district level, the first thing to check is, are the plans ready? Are they updated? Are the plans and the response as per the incident response system, where the tasking has been given by name and appointment, and it gives out a complete command and control structure. They only have to do fill in the gaps. Who is the R of the district? Normally the R of the district is the DC of the district.
Okay.
Who will be the incident commander? Who are the people part of the operation section? Who are the people who are part of the planning section? Who are the people who are part of the logistics? So the planning section gives out a plan to help out the incident commander to plan a response.
Okay. Okay.
The operation people go to the ground to carry out what has been directed to do. The logistic people provide whatever is needed by the operation people to carry out their operations for search, rescue, and whatever is meant for disaster management. So it is a teamwork, and therefore any district where the plans are ready, They understand the incident response system, where the response inventories are good. They have a decision support system on GIS platform. Their communications are effective. Now, I'll just highlight a bit on communication. Let's take an earthquake. I'll give an example of Bhuj itself. When an earthquake takes place, your mobile phones and landlines will totally be off the air.
True.
Therefore, it will imply that you will be out of communication for the first maybe 24, 48,
hours.
72 hours. Then what is your fallback? Does the district administration have a standalone disaster management network based on wireless communication? Will they be able to communicate with all the stakeholders? Will the people be able to come to the emergency operations center without being informed? Is there SOP to that? So therefore, communication is one of the most important factors.
So what is the answer to that? Is there something like that?
Answer is that we are working out a framework at the national level where we'll have a standalone disaster management network going down to last mile connectivity, but it's in the process of being put in. Meanwhile, the only thing which exists at the district level is the police network. In certain places like Delhi, they have some communication available with the district administration, but mostly it is not available.
Okay.
In case of a total breakdown of communication, like a cyclone and an earthquake. So that is a place which is at the moment a grey area, which needs a lot of doing for the time being. Because when we talk about warfare, no army can win if they lose their communication network.
Absolutely.
And we always try to break down the communication network of the enemy. So therefore, we must keep our communication intact.
That's right.
But just to supplement what
yes, Dr.
Hemlata said, systems are not that bad. You know, you have a ham radios, you have paramilitary forces have beautiful network of across the country. We mentioned of police also. So that all these networks together, something will be functional. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी नहीं है. है, बहुत है.
Right. Now, Dr. Nair,
I'd like
when
to add something to it.
Okay. Very quickly.
General Datta mentioned it. The National Disaster Management Authority has submitted a proposal which has been approved, and this year it will be put in place, where there will be a national network. What has been done is that already there is in existence a lot of communication network, the railways, the army, the police, the even the IGNO, they have their communication network, and all sorts of networks are available. So what NDMA has proposed, apart from that, create a platform in which all these are linked.
True. So I think that could be
And then add on a satellite phone to it, to all the districts. So you are able to get in touch, and some network will definitely be working.
That's true. That's true.
So
now, since we are running short of time, sir,
please.
final question to you. Dr. Nair, now when there are so many agencies involved, coordination at the top is really important. So who is responsible for that coordination, and how is it carried out? Very quickly, this is the last part.
Act prescribes the coordinator's role. There is no confusion about that. But when we land up in places, what we find is we take on the lead role, and the things move well because it's all in the national grid. अब वहाँ कोई खास complication है ही नहीं. But best part is, in all the mock essays I have seen, there are three tremendous impact. Number one, knowledge. जनता को पता नहीं कि क्या चीज़ करना है. धुआं आता है तो नीचे you have to go slow. Like भोपाल में हुआ, that gas comes, then you don't lie down, you have to move out against the wind. Then skills. How to rescue a person, how to support a person. Then third is attitude. Like I can lift a man putting my hand in between his legs and carry him, but I can't do that with a woman. So I would train my men, okay, now hold up on both legs and take her.
True.
So all this, the knowledge part, the skill part and the attitudinal part, and of course the resources which we have. So all this common focus we give when we go for mock exercises. Public actually comes to know that we can do a lot even with the given situation.
Right. Well, so on that note, I'd like to say thank you to all three of you. I wish we had more time to take this forward, but definitely we'll do it in all the other episodes.
We had a lot of things to say.
Right. But we'll do it in the other episodes to come. Well, folks, I think what we've learned today is this, that mock exercises and mock drills are an important part not only of the people who are managing it at the head, but also every person who is a citizen of this country, that we all need to move together. And if we can save some other people, we must. So mock drills, mock exercises, wherever they are taking place, try to be a part of that and try to learn from those mock drills. For all you know, you may actually need it one day. Well, that's all I have for you this evening. Do join me next week for another equally important and engaging episode on disaster management. Till then, this is Lottie Alaric saying goodbye and take very good care of yourselves.